Hey guys, welcome back to another New Moon Collective update. We are going to be doing an energy check-in for this new moon that is happening in the sign of Leo. If you were here for the last moon update, we did touch a little bit on this Leo energy. And it's so funny because I see the Leo energy being represented here again with one of the same cards we had last time. I've gotten a chance to look at the spread a little bit and it looks very interesting. But before we get into that, I kind of wanted to remind you guys of the example that I gave you last time. As we know, Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is very important. Without the sun, we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be alive. So I feel like this energy is really encouraging us to become really aware of our importance, to make ourselves important, to honor ourselves by honoring what's in our heart, how we feel, what we want for ourselves, to know that we are worthy of experiencing whatever that is, that we can prioritize whatever that is. We can prioritize ourselves. And at any point in time, we can decide to change our mind. If we feel like something isn't really connecting, something isn't aligning, if we feel it in our heart and we feel called to move directions, to change our mind, to make shifts, to know that we are within our right to do that at any time that we feel that call, that pull. So it's really about like giving yourself this importance and allowing yourself to be important enough to make shifts and changes that are going to feel right for us, that are going to help us to feel more aligned with who it is that we are. And who it is that we are, it shifts, it changes. We always have our phases. So it's having the courage and being brave enough to, when you know it's time for you to shift, when it's time for you to change, to allow whatever needs to happen for those shifts to occur, to really invite in that transformation and to invite in the fullest expression of yourself that you can be at any given time. So let's see what's coming up for this Leo new moon on a collective level. For those of us that are tuning in, let's see what Spirit wants to communicate with us today, what they think we should focus on during this new moon cycle. Okay, so something is heavily coming through regarding work, and working in particular with other people, working within a community, really pulling your weight, doing your part, playing your role, and feeling useful, like feeling very useful for what it is that you're bringing to the table. So something about this may be evolving. So if you're, in a situation where you're working with people, working on a creative project or working on something like that has to do with a collective effort. So it could be like something in your community. Spirit is indicating that you might be moving on to the next level, to the next phase of whatever this is. So maybe it's that you're experiencing that whatever your role here is on a collective level, that you're outgrowing it, or that you're graduating, you're leveling up, you're ready to move on, to move up, to go to the next level, to the next step. And Spirit is encouraging you to just do it, to just go for it. They're telling you that you're the one that has the power to make this decision. You can make it whenever you want. You can create these changes whenever you want. It's on you. It's all a matter of like you just deciding when. And they're trying to remind you that you have the power to decide when, where, how, why. Like you are the one in control here. You are the one in charge, and you can make any change, any shift you want whenever you feel it is time to do so. And I feel like you are feeling like maybe you're outgrowing something and you're ready for something to change. And this does appear to be in like a work environment or like a community or some kind of group effort. I just see you taking something else on because it seems that you just kind of reached the end of a cycle here. So it's like if you finished something and now it's time for you to move on to the next thing. I want to say like you paid your dues is the energy I'm getting. Like you put in the hours, you put in the effort, the work, You did what you had to do, and now it's time for you to like celebrate. Now it's time for you to enjoy, to think about your joy. I feel like Spirit is saying that you're growing out of this energy of like, being a part of a project or something, or whatever group that you're involved in, that you're working with. It's like you did your part already. Like you played your role. You did what you had to do to keep something running. But now you're finding yourself in a place where it's like time for you to make some sort of change. And it looks like a very sudden change, and it looks like you're the one that has to make it. Like no one is going to tell you like, okay, you're done, you're graduated. Like no one is going to hold your hand and like walk you through the door. It's like a decision that needs to come from within you. It's something you just feel inside that you take action on. And Spirit is letting you know that you're allowed to take action on what makes you happy, like what sounds fun, what sounds like it's going to be joyous, what sounds like it's going to be like a celebration, a good time. And they want you to lean more into that energy now. Whereas before you may have been in an energy where it was like, oh, well, I have a responsibility, people are depending on me, I'm part of a group, and if I don't do this, then it's gonna like mess up a lot of other things. And so you had to do what you were doing just to keep something like moving and to keep something functioning. But you're in a position now where that doesn't need to be the priority. Is to like, oh, I need to stay here because like I need to keep up with my responsibilities and my duties to keep this whole thing going. Like Spirit wants you to lean now into what is going to make you feel joyous and happy. And like you just want to have a good time, you just want to have fun, you just want to, sing and dance and be free and be happy and celebrate, just have a good time, be in a celebratory mood. I feel like you've created the resources that you need to follow this instinct, to follow this impulse, like whatever it is that's really lighting you up, that's making you really excited, or that's drawing you in, that you're super curious about. Spirit wants you to lean into that. And there's something coming through here about experience. It's like through your experiences, you've gained some kind of a wisdom. And now it's like time for you to apply whatever that wisdom is that you've attained. It's like time for you to apply it into your life. Maybe you've had time to think about this, to masticate it, digest it, and now it's time for you to actually integrate this wisdom. Because by doing so, you're getting a shot, like you're getting a chance at liberating yourself of something, at freeing yourself of something. It's like it's becoming clear that, I don't know, that like you graduated, that you're like passing some sort of a threshold, that you're evolving, you're elevating, that you're ready for the next thing, the next phase, your next era. You're ready to usher that in. And I feel like you need to know that, this isn't something that you should feel guilty about. Like if you're like, oh, well, I'm so selfish, I'm just going to this thing because it sounds more fun, and it's like you think it's a shallow reason, to just follow your heart with what sounds more fun or sounds more joyous. But Spirit wants you to do that. They're giving you the green light that this is what you need to be doing right now. It's just listening to your heart. They're saying you deserve it. You deserve to have fun, to have a good time, to go towards things that make you excited and that make you feel just emotionally fulfilled and supported. It's like you did the work part. They're showing me like the work part is over. Now it's time to play. They want you to play, but in a way that's going to be nourishing and fulfilling versus like play in the sense of like you're giving into any addictions, attachments. And with the sexual wisdom card coming here, which I have to say that card shows up a lot in these moon update readings. That card shows up so much. So I don't know, like those of you that tune in regularly, there's like a strong message about that, about sexual wisdom. So I feel like it does have to do with something like that. So maybe you were, I don't know, like I don't want to make assumptions here because I know these energies exist like on a gradient scale. So it just depends like where on the scale, on the spectrum you fall on. Spirit is always looking for a balance. So it just depends, like one man's poison is one man's medicine. So it just depends where it is that you fall and what it is that you need to reach that equilibrium, to reach that balance, you know? But what I'm getting here, you know, the feeling I'm getting is that maybe some of you may have been associating, you know, sexual pleasure or, you know, giving into those impulses, those sexual impulses, very loosely and very freely because you thought that that was the way to fulfill yourself emotionally. But I see you like having a different relationship now with like sexuality and your sexual, you know, the way that you express your sexuality and the way that you handle those sexual impulses. It's definitely a time here for you to learn more about this, to expand your knowledge, your awareness as it pertains to your sexuality and how that's expressed and how you relate to it and like what you associate it to, like what you correlate it to. Like maybe before it was like you thought that engaging in sexual activities was like how you have fun. This is how you have a good time. This is how you fulfill yourself emotionally. And I do see like a transformation happening here with that outlook, where maybe you're seeing like that it doesn't have as much depth or as much meaning or substance as you were giving it, because now you're actually tapping into what is meaningful, what does have substance, depth. So I think the way that you come together with people, the way that you party, that you have fun, that you find joy, I think this is definitely shifting. It's changing the way that you connect with others, the way that you love, the way that you feel satisfaction, feel good, potentially even the way that you participate in relationships, the way that you participate in groups. I don't know, something about this is shifting, it's changing, it's telling me that you have the tools to make these shifts and that you're so abundant. You have everything that you need, and that right now the good is 100% outweighing the bad. And there's more of like an outpouring of love, there's more of a positive energy than there is any negative energies. And it's a time for you to really feel love and how limitless it really is. Spirit wants you to like relish in this love and to pass it along, to pass it on, to share it, you know? So it's a time to be with the people that you love, you know, to interact with those people that make you feel good so that you guys can like feed off of each other's love. It's just really like a time for celebration is what I'm seeing. It's a really amazing energy. And it also seems like you're coming from something heavy though. It's like you're coming out of something really heavy, but you're finally rising to the top. You're finally freeing yourself in some way, leveling up, expanding your consciousness, your awareness, seeing something differently, seeing where things may have been distorted, where things may have been unaligned, where things weren't of love. I was reading the Tao today, actually. I think it's verse 2. And it's all about that, like good versus evil, or like, you know, beauty versus ugliness. It's like you wouldn't know one without the other. So it's like you had to come from the deep, dark depths. You had to see those things fully in order to be able to see the love, the beauty, the purity. It's like you had to see both of them to be able to make that comparison, to be able to make that distinction, to be able to discern one from the other. And I think you did go through like some sort of a heartbreak or like some sort of negative energy, like you came out of some sort of delusion, you know, because when we are getting disillusioned, that's difficult. That's a difficult process to go through. When we start seeing like the distortion or, you know, like I said, where things weren't aligned, where things were the opposite of love, where things were cruel and corrupt. But I feel like getting a taste of the light, getting a taste of the purity, of the love, of spirit, of the divine was all that you needed. And now it's like you can never go back, you know? Once you see it, you can never unsee it. And now that you have this expanded awareness around something, it's like it gives you the power to not make the same decisions you were making before, not do the same things you were doing before, to see that you've outgrown something. You're ready to do something different, to make different moves. And you can decide to do that right now, tomorrow, in 5 minutes. It's on you. So yeah, I do see a really big transformation. It's beautiful. It looks so, so beautiful. And Spirit wants you to continue to be confident within yourself, to trust yourself, to listen to yourself, because you're in a really good place right now. It's like you're seeing things very clearly, so you can trust yourself right now. The things that you're being like guided to act on, I feel like they're high vibrational. You have wisdom behind, the way you're seeing things, the way that you're perceiving things, the moves that you're making, the actions that you're taking. There's a wisdom here. So you can trust yourself. Definitely, it's a time where you can trust yourself. And Spirit is also bringing up that it is a time to be brave. You have to be brave. You have to be confident. You have to believe in yourself. You have to trust in yourself first and foremost. I feel like you guys are captivated by something. Something is really appealing, irresistible, enchanting to you right now. And Spirit wants you to move towards it. There's definitely like a potential here to become more, to begin something, to take action on something, on something new. I feel like you've prepared yourself for these changes and you're ready to do. Like you're ready to do what you have to do and to know that success comes to those who work for it. So this is about like taking this idea, whatever it is that has captivated you. It's like take that and give it form, mold it and shape it into being. And know that whatever you put effort into, whatever you put energy into, whatever you nourish, it pays off, Whether it's through recognition or gains, you see some sort of a payoff somewhere, but you have to begin somewhere. So it's like you have to give yourself a chance, put yourself in the ring, so that this can become a possibility, so that this can become like something stable and successful. So Spirit is just basically reassuring you that you have the power to make this happen for yourself. Success comes to those who work for it. And I see that you've worked for it. You've worked for something. You know how to work, because I do see that you have some sort of abundance here. So you know how it works. So it's just a matter of like what you nurture, what you nourish, what you put energy into. So I do see you reaching like some kind of next phase, next level, but there is more work here to be done. But you're no stranger to that. You're no stranger to work. You got this. Go through your transformation with grace, with ease, with confidence. This looks to be so blessed, such a blessed energy, and very healing. And like the actions that you take now are definitely shaping and molding what you're creating for yourself in the future. So whatever energy you're in right now, just know that this is basically the energy you're going to have for the rest of the year. I feel like you've realized that you are your own hero. You are the person you've been looking for. And it's time for you to really act upon that wisdom and upon, everything that you've learned, everything that's expanded your consciousness, your awareness. Make a decision, integrate this somehow by making some kind of like tangible, solid action or choice or change here that's basically putting you on path to something that you're finding very, very valuable and attractive, something that you're putting a lot of weight on that looks like, you're regarding as very important. Spirit wants to remind you that the only person in your way is you. If you do feel stuck in any way, they're saying the only person in your way is you. There's nothing else in your way. The universe is on your side. There's open doors. There's green lights. So again, just listen to your heart. Stay brave. Stay confident. Regard yourself as the most important thing. How you feel, your happiness, your joy, regard that as the most important thing right now. Okay, you guys, so these are the messages that I am getting for this new moon in Leo. I truly hope you guys tap into this, work with these energies. It seems to be so expansive, very potent, very beautiful. I hope these messages have served you. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading, I do those. I would love to connect with you, give you more information, work with you. I'll leave my email in the description box below if you're interested. Take good care of yourselves. And until next time, bye.